Heart Autism Center is an NGO that caters to children with special needs, autism and related developmental disorders. So we have speech therapy going on, we have occupational therapy going on, we have behavior modification therapy going on with applied behavior analysis. We have music therapy going on at different times in the week, floor time, and all what the child or the children need to have to lead a functional life. So what we do here is basically preparatory to mainstream.
Autism is a neurological disorder that has a way of affecting children socially. Children are not able to communicate the way they should, or behave, you can say behave the way that is socially acceptable. Autism is not a lifelong disability. It can be managed with time. Those children get to also behave the way that the society expects them to.
As my colleague has said, many people mistake autism to be a disease or to be a sickness, but it's not. Persons or children with autism are beautiful, are special, and genuine in their own way.
There has been some form of awareness, but I will not say it has increased because we don't have fundings to do what we need to do for people to understand what autism is. A lot of families still live in denial. A lot of schools still don't understand what the spectrum is all about. And then not to talk of children with neurodiversity. A lot of churches also have found it difficult to include children with neurodiversity in their midst. So I would say that people understand what it is, but it has not really gotten into them.
When they are 18 months or even a year, there are certain milestones that a child is expected to attain at that level. For example, the child is not having eye contact, the child does not have words or sounds, or is not babbling at that point. So that one is a red flag, the common red flags you see.
I've been fortunate enough, I'll say, to work with children from the age of 2. Most of them, when they come in here, are semi-nonverbal, nonverbal, and by the grace of God, most of them are not even potty trained. Their adaptive skills are all not there formed. So, but by the grace of God, by the time they come in and therapy sessions begin, it didn't take us up to a year for most of them. They had those abilities. For example, most of them were potty trained, most of them could do things themselves, most of them had speech and were transferred to the mainstream school. So there is definitely progress when you come early, when there's an early intervention. That notwithstanding doesn't mean for those that don't come in without early intervention, there's no progress. There is, but early intervention is the best.
I'll be speaking on behalf of the team at Blazing Heart Autism Center, and what inspires us as therapists, as teachers to individuals on the spectrum is the children. The children inspire us. They inspire us to be better at what we're doing. They inspire us to help them thrive. They inspire us to be patient. They teach us to be better teachers.
This is an exercise called trunk dissociation. It is used to improve the sitting balance and also improve the truncal control. The knees are flexed and the upper body is kept in anatomical position. And this is done for like 5 seconds. There's also the joint compression. Joint compression is an activity to improve the proprioceptive input. It helps to calm the nervous system and also improves the body awareness of the clients and space and environment.
For us at Blazing Heart Autism Center, the first thing we look out for is the passion that you come in with. Because if you don't have passion, you will not have patience to work with children with neurodevelopmental disorders or neurodiversities. So we look out first for passion, and passion drives patience. So that's our first port of call. And then when we get them in, we conduct different kinds of trainings, from the basics to, certified courses. We train and retrain our staff members to become better at what they do, because we serve humanity.
Doing this sends proprioceptive input to the joints. It also improves the joint stability. This is the bridging exercise. Bridging exercise also helps to improve the sitting balance.
I think I signed up sometime in 2012 or 2013. So it's been some good 7-8 years, if not more. It's been fantastic. For me, I didn't quite know what autism meant at the time, and I needed to give back, basically serve. So my background as a lawyer, I came in to support the best way I thought I knew how to. For the longest, I wasn't exactly interacting with the kids. I was a little bit afraid because I didn't quite understand what they were about, but I began to learn and understand, and I got to know basically what their mannerisms were, and saw all the prospects and abilities and what was seemingly misunderstood or misconstrued.
Working with these children needs patience, not just let me say, when I mean patience, it needs serious patience. And so far so good, the journey has been great. I'm proud at any point to say I'm a therapist. I'm proud to associate myself with any special needs child anywhere. And the most important thing is the joy that comes when you see that your efforts are showing forth, when there's progress in that child. The society outside many don't understand, but there's joy when you see that child from one place to another. For every milestone that child gets, there is joy. I'll give an experience of a child we're working with here in the center who has fear for height, and we're trying our best to put him in the trampoline. And there was this very day he got into the trampoline and he was jumping. I screamed out. I was crying. I was very happy. You could see tears of joy, because some other person walking in who understand what's going on. But I knew what it meant for that child to do what it's doing. And I know the joy the mother will also have for seeing her child jumping.
Well, it's been a wonderful moment with them, with the children on the spectrum. Working with them has really taught me a lot. It has taught me patience, it has taught me understanding, and then most importantly, it has taught me humility. You have to be very humble to be able to work with these children that require special care. You really have to bring yourself down and work with them. I've had my moments whereby you think you're not giving enough yet, but with time you're able to see breakthrough with them in one area or the other. Actually, the child that taught me how to write cursive handwriting, that handwriting that you curve and, is a child on the spectrum. She taught me. Okay, imagine if I had not been that humble, to work with her. I won't have been able to learn it.
Joshua, take your left hand. Good job. Take. Joshua, take. No, over here, your left hand. Good job.
Dealing with autistic children, personally, it has affected my life because they take you to a new level of patience. So at first, you need to discipline yourself to be patient at that level. But after a while, it becomes part of you because it becomes a habit because you've done it over and over and over again. Music plays a very vital role for children with autism. I'll tell you this for free. This is proven, tested and proven. I've tried this several times and my team. Music lessons would increase the focus level of a child, the concentration level of basically children with autism. Now, apart from that, you realize that for most children with autism, they lack focus, they lack concentration. Music lessons will do that for them. Can children with autism play the piano very well? Can they play the violin very well? Can they play the recorder? The answer is yes, because it's been tested and proven. I've seen it in realities, and results don't lie, basically.
My name is Mrs. Nkiruka Ngo. I have a child here. His name is Chukwuebuka Daniel Ngo, popularly known as Ebuka. We registered him here sometime in January 2020 when he was diagnosed of having autism. Before we came in here, he was actually in a mainstream school and he wasn't coping there. We know, though reports come to us, but we know within us what he could do and what he could not do. As at then, he was not taking instructions, he was not talking yet, and we knew that still continuing to keep him there without a directed kind of help, something that will be directed towards his kind of challenge, will be a futile thing to do. So that was why we came in here, and the Blazing Heart Autism Center did an evaluation for him. They pointed out where he is and what can be done for him, and then we started the journey, one-on-one therapy session. Before you know it, Ebuka was actually responding to things. The first thing we noticed was he started saying bye-bye, as in wave to you. When you tell him bye-bye, he will wave to you. Before then, he wasn't doing that. And then he started responding to a high five, greeting. And before then, he wasn't doing that. Then we progressed. Ebuka started taking instructions. Before then, his receptive language was bad. We talk to him, you tell him, you give him instruction, he wasn't taking them. He wasn't listening. But before you know it, he started taking instructions. He can actually go and drop a plate that he used to eat. You say, come, go and drop this plate, he will go and keep it. When he comes back from school, he will remove his shoes and go and keep the shoes where they're supposed to be. Wow, wow, what is happening? So the progress was fast, was actually fast, and very, very evident. Everybody could see it.
So basically, I've seen people coming in their diapers and watch them transit or transition into being properly potty trained, become a little bit self-reliant and self-aware. I've seen people who could barely say or string a few words together, or maybe one or two words together, make a complete sentence and basically interact with their peers and practically socialize. I've seen people who came into the center and would only cling or stick to their caregiver or therapist, but in the process of time they would basically be able to interact socially with their peers and everyone. It's been an amazing experience. For me, what gives me joy is the fact that parents are able to get a little bit of breather from what seemed impossible. So my little encouragement or my little happiness is the seemingly impossible, misunderstood situation is managed in the little way Blazing Heart Autism Center can. And that for me is the whole world, to see the smile or maybe a little bit of relief in the faces of the parents and the caregivers who help these kids every day.
This is a therapy ball. Can be used for different activities. Good. You drop it. Good job.
I can remember one of the first set of autistic children we handled about, I think, 9 years ago or 10 years ago. I can remember one of the parents when she was of the opinion that this was going to be like a waste of time to her son. But I can remember very, very well, in fact the image is still clear in my mind, when she saw her son playing the piano piece. I could see, she was just crying, but those were tears of joy basically, because she could not really believe it. And she was like, wow, this is for real. Nigeria
as a whole is struggling with a lot of things, and it's not easy to cater to a child with neurodevelopmental disorder or delays. But I know that I feel that if I am able to just encourage one person, just help one person out of depression, help one family out of depression, the world will be a better place. We can handle more. We can handle more in the sense that even if we're not bringing them to the center or giving them support in schools, we can work with the parents, we can work with the schools, the hospitals, we can work with the churches, we can work with the mainstream society, the general public, and teach them, train them on how to handle these children. So yes, we can do more. I would say Blazing Heart Autism Center does not have competitors, in the sense that we cannot be competing with anybody. We love collaborations. We love to collaborate with schools, we love to collaborate with hospitals, because it's nobody's fault that these children find themselves in the space that they find themselves. So putting in our heads that, or putting in our minds, or having a mindset that, oh, we are competing against one person or two people, I don't think is the right mindset for us to build on. And so we would love to say we love to collaborate instead of compete against ourselves, because I mean, no one person can cater to the millions of children we have with neurodevelopmental disorders in our society. So Blazing Heart cannot do it alone. We do internal competitions, not external, because we know that we cannot cater to everybody, even if we have to split ourselves into the different local governments, the different areas, rural areas in Rivers State. We cannot handle all the children with neurodevelopmental disorders. So we do not compete, we rather collaborate.
I feel very, very, very happy, because when we started here, I wasn't sure what will happen and when it will happen. The doctors we saw told us that there's no magic, that is something that we need to have patience for. It's not something that happens spontaneously. So we didn't have a goal, or we didn't calculate that it will take this number of years to happen. And, so when the improvements started coming, and I failed to mention he can talk now. He can actually express himself and say, I want this or I want that. So, and it means that his receptive language and the expressive language has come to a particular time when he can go back to men's school, and when he's instructed to do something with other students, he could actually comply. And when he needs a particular thing, he will say, I need this. So that is the point that he has come to, and we are so happy. And my word of encouragement for parents out there who might have a child with similar issues is to accept it. One, you must accept the diagnosis before you can seek for help for that child. Don't say there's nothing like autism or what is happening. When you accept it, you will research, you will seek for help, and you will get the right help for your child. Number two is early intervention is key. When the child's behavior is being molded, at that early time, let there be an intervention for that child so that the child will develop and the child will progress from there. If you leave that child to not to know that this is what the child is supposed to be doing and all that, it will affect remolding that child again at later stage. So the two key things: accept the diagnosis so that you can seek for the right help for your child. And number two, early intervention is key. Every child have their developmental stories. Autism is not a condemnation for a child. They are actually, from my experience, very smart kids, very sweet kids, and I love my child anywhere he is.
My advice to most parents: autism is not a disease. And if you find yourself in that situation, early intervention. Your child could do things other children won't be able to do. Just have faith in God and have faith in yourself.
No, most times when we look at that child, the child is not communicating at that point, and then you lose, oh, there's no hope again. There's hope. Give it time. Give it all your strength. Give it everything that you have. That child will come to who you want that child to be. So just do what you have to do. Go to the right place, get the right therapy, and then everything will take its place.
I don't rule out the God factor in the things we do. Right here at Blazing Heart Autism Center, I say there is hope. God still does wonders, and we train or assist these kids to be self-reliant in our own way. And yes, we've seen good results. We've seen transitions. We've seen progress made over time and over the years. So yes, there is hope for everyone living under the spectrum.
Suspend your legs. Yeah. Joshua, your right hand. The aim of the activity is for bilateral coordination, for sitting on an uneven surface, coordinating. Joshua, take from your right hand. Bilateral coordination helps for integration of the left and right parts of the body, the left and right parts of the brain, and of course for also attention and body awareness. Joshua, from your left hand. Good job.
As much as we have seen, children with neurodiversity hear, and they hear what we say, and most of them hear what we don't even say, because they watch our reactions, they watch our body language, voice tones, facial expressions. So for families, let's try and curtail what the negativities we use or the negative words we use around these children or individuals with neurodiversities. For therapists here at Blazing Heart Autism Center, well done. We see you. We know what you do. We know how much you put into the progress or the success of a child on a daily basis. And we would love to do more for you as individuals, for us as a center. But don't stop doing what you're doing. Keep developing yourself, keep doing what you're doing, keep loving the children, because your love, they see through what you do. They see that you really love them. And most of the times, that's where you see success in what you're doing. And for every other person out there, schools, churches, hospitals, include children or individuals with neurodiversity, include them in whatever we're doing out there, include them. Because we have seen over the years that the children can do way beyond what we think or imagine. So give them a chance to thrive. Give them a chance to do what we don't expect them to do, and let's watch them fulfill destiny, basically.
In Blazing Heart, you don't just get therapists, you get therapists that work with their hearts. Therapists that love the children as if they are their own children. We work as a family in Blazing Heart. So there's no how you come to Blazing Heart and go back the same. You go with progress. Blazing Heart is the right place for you to bring your child for therapy sessions.
Okay, so I would recommend Blazing Hearts Autism Center for any parent. I barely try to refer businesses. I barely try to do that, but for this, they be consistent, and consistency is key. So I'll recommend Blazing Hearts Autism Center. I've seen a lot of kids come and transit into real school. I've seen that into reality.
In the past 12 years, our challenges have been, we've had challenges with funding, we've had challenges with manpower, we've had challenges with the community we are in, the people in the community to understand what we're doing. A lot of times people refer to us as a school or as this or as that, but many of those times we try to, let them know what we are and what we stand for. So our challenge with the community has been understanding. If the community we serve at the moment understand what we're doing, they will also be able to assist or educate the next person. And that's how awareness and acceptance spreads. That's how sensitization goes. My name is Beauty Kumesine, and I'm the chief servant here at Blazing Heart Autism Center, 31C Ohiamini Close, Rupaklosi Town by Elibolo, Port Harcourt.
Good job.